In this quick video, I'll talk about my experience with a couple of Flexematic 10-inch HMIs. So I started at flexematic.com, products, HMIs, and I was sent a standard HMI and a capacitive HMI. So I started with the standard, which mine is an FS910R. And as I've seen previously with Flexematic, they make it really easy here. Download software. Apparently the software I need is called Flexematic Studio. Just a little about the hardware I have. I have the FS910R, and that is a full 10.1 inch with 2 Ethernet ports. Funny it says 1 here. I assure you it's 2. And then down here it says 7 inch. Well, I assure you from measuring, it is 10 inches. So down further here, this talks about the 2 Ethernet ports that it has and 3 COM ports. All right, and a quick look at the back of this guy. We've got a USB here. This guy's labeled Ethernet 1 or WAN, and this one's labeled Ethernet 2 or LAN. This is a micro USB, and then we have COM1/COM3, followed by COM2, and then the power. All right, and now the FS110C shown here. And this is a capacitive unit, very glossy screen, very pretty. It's got this plastic cover on the back. It brings up some interesting mounting options for this guy. It is a 10.1. Its screen size is the same as the FS910 we looked at. And then it's got IC COM 1, 2, and 3. I don't see a COM 4 on the back of this unit. And this has 1 Ethernet. Just a quick peek at the actual hardware. I see COM 1 and 3 here, Ethernet here. This guy says COM 2. This is my power, and I also see a USB port and a USB-C port. The software installation was easy. I'll now launch, and we'll do File, Create Project. I'm going to do this for an FS910R demo, will be the name I'll give it. I will narrow it down to a 10-inch for easy selection. Pick the 910R. And then Ethernet port setup, where as you can see there is indeed an Ethernet 1 and an Ethernet 2. I'm going to go with DHCP. I've got a server all assigned to give it the IP address I want it to have. And next we get remote HMI, which looks like tag sharing between Flexematic HMIs. Remote PLC, this is a neat one where you can use a remote HMI's COM port to communicate to a PLC. And then this guy here, which is direct connections to devices. So if I click Create, you get to see their drivers list, and it's pretty extensive, including things like BACnet, which I understand to be more building automation. And one I'm going to try, which is nice to see here, is OPC UA. So just to start simple, I'm going to connect to a Modbus TCP device at IP address ending in 4.7. So I'll hit OK here and then confirm. And it looks like it's creating my project. Now there's lots of stuff here, so I'll start simple. I'm going to go create an address tag. So new word. This is going to be device 1, address 0. Tag name, test. So now here I just want to display a number. And interesting enough, it looks like I could have just selected device 1 and done the tag directly, or done the address directly, but I'm going to use the tag I created. And there's a simulation, so we'll give that a shot. And there it goes. That was easy. Now to transfer this to the panel. Okay, now this button, download to panel. This is the IP I have my panel assigned to, so I'm just going to click download. Download complete. And now that it's back up, it is indeed displaying my number. Now to make this window look pretty, right-click Windows Properties, and I'm going to assign it an image. All right, that's way better. And the next thing is window navigation. I'd like to learn, it looks like there's a switch specifically for window operation. Press Windows switch. We're going to create a new basic window. And then we'll have this one switch to window number 2. Okay. And then my window number 2, these are window navigation buttons. So we'll go to the next window, the window number 2 that we created, and then I'll put a back button. So window operation, and it looks like we can return to previous window. I'll make that a little bigger and give it a try with the simulation. Look at that, it even works. So now I'm going to try to create an OPC UA connection. I have a PLC all running here. It should have tags already in it. So OPC UA, we're going to be a client. So I'm going to do 4.77. 4840 is correct. Security is probably correct now with none, none, and anonymous. So we'll leave that alone, and I'm going to go to import tags online. I don't know the format of mine. I'm going to go with the defaults, and then I'm going to say get tags online. And look at that. That's all my tags. So I'm just going to select them all. I'm going to click on import items, and then OK. OK and OK. I've already created an OPC UA button, or labeled the screen jump to window 2 to be OPC UA. So when I imported the tags through OPC UA tags, this is the list that I got. And I tried to make tags in every different format: real, long real, int, small int, double int, or small int byte, boolean, so forth and so on, right down to string variables. And once that was all done, I created screen objects for all of those things. Then you can easily do the simulation, which should actually connect to the PLC. So now I click my OPC UA tag, and sure enough, this thing goes right online with the PLC. So that's been transferred to my panel. Click OPC UA. As you can see, it's all working. Originally, this did not work. I was missing lots of values, and it was very irregular refresh rate. I contacted Flexematic, was given a new driver file, which had to go into this path. And I dropped it in here. Once I did that, I was told to clear the compile result and then compile again and then re-download, and that did solve the problem. Next, I found this camera control, and curiosity got the best of me. So I spent a lot of time with that. The help files are helpful, but nowhere in the help file did it mention that the camera needed to be ONVIF compliant, and in my case I had to disable security to get it working in my camera, which was right here. But the end result was this, which is pretty slick. Even has camera controls. Next, I did the trend object here, and first thing you have to have is a data sampling. So I set up a data sampling, one of my test variables, cyclic 0.2 second activation time, and then told it that it was a single precision floating point. And then once you do that, you got to come in here, say channel, use this channel. I want it to be a line, and the line types, and then what you're expecting for min and max. And then the scale, tell it to use channel 1's min-max scale. And then I started my simulation for testing, and you can see here it's clearly plotting a sine wave. One thing I had to learn along the way is that indicator light doesn't mean just an indicator. You'll use this, you can turn on the switch function, and it's the only place I've found where you can do a momentary press, which appears to be called reset. Now, just to try the other panel, I'm going to go here to change HMI. I'm going to change it to the 110C, which is the other panel I have here. And I guess hit exchange. Exchange went pretty smooth with the exception of the camera object, which apparently doesn't work on the capacitive version. So I'm doing the download now. I have this unit at .178. And then this is the FS910 with the full project on it. And then this is the modified and downloaded project to the 110 with the OPC UA values and back. There's way too many features to go over them all. But the hardware, software, number of supported protocols, the product offering, I like what I've seen. I look forward to learning more about Flexematic products.